I think, though the CPI has come down and the IIP figures are looking better, but in spite of that, I don't really think that RBI will go in and do something immediately. Maybe because monsoon, we still don't know the outcome, and there could be other risks in the offing. So, that being the case, probably my call would be that they would probably keep things steady, at least on the interest rate front. On other issues, there might be some changes, like we saw last time there was an SLR cut. So there might be some other issues. But on the interest rate side, I think probably it will remain the same. And how we see it panning out, very difficult to call at this point of time, because I don't think it will only depend on CPI numbers. It will depend on numerous other things. And therefore, well, I'll go with the majority that says that things will probably change only by the end of the year.
Recently, RBI came out with a circular infra and affordable housing bonds. So a lot of banks are looking at it when it comes to issuing such bonds. So will SBI also be interested? Are you even seeing the appetite for infra bonds? And if you were to raise, could we see lower rates on your infra or affordable housing?
See, at this point of time, I have enough liquidity and not enough demand for credit. Therefore, though I have quite a bit of room to raise these bonds, I'm not going to the market immediately. We're just looking around to see who would be interested. We've also requested RBI whether they can make slight changes here and there. That is, whether they can make it a 5-year bond instead of a 7-year. I don't know whether that will be considered, but we have requested, because then it would match with the 5/25 structure that is being asked on the other end. That would make it, I think, much more palatable. That being the case, we'll wait out a little more to see when the credit demand goes up. And at that point of time, we might look to approaching the market. Again, a few things that can be tweaked on the pattern of investment that is allowed for the PF funds and for the insurance funds. That also might bring in a little better appetite here. So we will see how the market develops.
Besides this infra bond issuances, are you looking at any other equity or bond raising going forward? You have said time and again it will depend a lot on credit growth, and you're well capitalized for now. But anything on
See, going forward, we'll definitely be looking at it, because capital raising has to happen, and therefore going forward we'll have to look at it. What we'll try to do is to be in readiness so that we can come into the market when it's most conducive for us. So yes, we are continuing to look at it, but not immediately maybe. But see, immediately it is very difficult to call, and we may want to do something for a little longer period so that we don't have to frequently come into the market. So that being the case, we are still looking at the ways and means, and the numbers, well, I haven't crystallized anything.
And lastly, last we spoke, you did tell me that you're in talks with your JV partners for the insurance venture. And so going forward, what are your plans? Would you look at listing? And are you also, would you be interested in listing any of your other subsidiaries, maybe the AMC business or something?
All of this is on the cards, but when and how and things of that sort is not immediately determined, in the sense that the JV partners, we are in talks with them, and we want to find out what is their appetite for dial-up option, which they have once the insurance bill is passed. And subsequent to that only, we have to find out what we want to do about broad-basing the ownership. Similarly, with the other companies that we have, there too we have some of them, we have JVs. But this is not a not a decision that can be taken offhand. So it will take some time for the talks to mature, for the talks to go on. But anyway, these are all under discussion. That's all I can say at this point.
And lastly, you said that you need about 2 to 3 months to prepare a roadmap for associate merger. So just wanted to understand, I'm not asking you for any answer or something, but just wanted to understand, will it be easier to merge the unlisted associates first and then go for the listing ones? How are you planning to go about it? Could we expect a merger in FY15, or could it be delayed?
See, whether you merge a listed or an unlisted, we have done both. SBS was not listed and SB Indore was. So to that extent we have tried out both, and I don't think the pains are very different. As I said earlier also, the pains are mainly on the HR front, and how well and how quickly we rationalize the workings. So to that extent, this is something that it can be any one of them. We'll try to see going forward, as I said, we'll work out a roadmap. We have to make economic sense of the whole thing. So only then we can decide which and when. And to tell you whether it is by FY15 or not is still too premature. So it could be anything, it's a little too premature. Give us a little more time. As I said, I think I asked for 4 months. 1 month is past, so another 3 months, and I should be able to tell you all how we go about it.
Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/ETNow and don't forget to click the like button. You can also follow us on Twitter at ETNowLive. To stay updated with all our programming, hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel by logging on to youtube.com/user/ETNow.